back with another chain wrestling flow roll. It's definitely been a hot minute, but I am back. I've got Solomun Blackwell in the ring, one of Queensland's finest grapplers, who not many may know, but he actually began his career at the EPW school. He attended an open day that I ran, but very soon after moved his way over to Queensland. And I do know that Solomun is a big aficionado of the submission grappling style. He loves to use it, and I was just really excited to kind of see him back in the ring and just see what he'd learned over the last year. So I took this opportunity to have a roll around, and for those who have seen my most recent flow rolls, they're just a light, playful, hold for hold chain wrestle. That's the simplest way to put it. It's not about maximum intensity. It's about just trying new things and seeing where you land. So we don't want to hold things for too long. Right now, I just switched the grip on a wrist lock to take Solomun down. Now using my knee as a fulcrum to work that arm. So bringing him up to a standing base. I like to use the arm wringer to go into the snapmare as I did. A little modified snapmare, but it puts you in a really nice spot to stay on the arm when they're grounded. You can see Solomun attempting to grab an inside leg trip. Didn't quite have the angle. He did switch the angle there. I tried to grab a double wrist lock, but he got the takedown with a step over toe hold now, and working the ankle lock with a little reverse ankle lock grip. Here I'm just switching through to take the back, forcing him down to a seated base, then moving into the armbar, a very jiu-jitsu influenced takedown. Just holding position in that armbar right now, and you'll see right now I switch into what's commonly called a short arm scissors in pro wrestling. Essentially, it's a bicep slicer, just a really nasty move, a lot more devastating than it tends to look. I've switched now, just taking side control, switching my hips back and forth to gain control and maintain control, and then moving into a knee on belly attack. You can kind of see here I'm waiting for a response. The knee on belly, it's not a submission in itself, but it generally causes a response, and I was digging for that far side underhook, hoping to get a spinning armbar on the far side. Didn't happen, so we reset and start again. Now with the knuckle lock, attempting to gain the advantage, you'll see the knuckles are quite tucked in. So Solomun has his elbows tucked by his side. I'm trying to bring his elbows out like I eventually did. When their arms are away from their body, their arms are weaker. And that's a real strong principle to utilize. If you can get the limbs away from the body, you're going to be in a better position to snatch those submissions. Here, just stepping over into a top wrist lock. And I think the beauty of these chain wrestling flow rolls is it can go so many different ways. Like, depending on who you're working with and the kind of attacks they like to use, whether they're offensive or defensively minded, it can be a slow process. It can be a lot of feeling out, or it can be a real fast hold for hold. It just kind of depends with who you're with, who you are, and just what happens in the moment. So after the break from the hammerlock, going now, taking the leg out, spinning around, and going for a rolling ankle lock, which I have shown before on the channel. You can find that on my YouTube. Now as we go back, you'll see that I clear the leg so that I can float over. I grab a seat belt and then float back over into the headlock, trapping the arm. And then once I trap that arm, I let go of the headlock, reach through for the crucifix so that I can roll through for that backslide. And that concludes our chain wrestling flow roll.
If you want to see more videos like this, click on the subscribe button, spread the word, and if you have any questions or requests for World Beater Wrestling, don't be afraid to comment below.